Hi, I'm Father Bryan Brooks. I'm the pastor of the Church of St. Benedict's in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. I just want to give you an update. Not so much a daily reflection I've been offering of late, but basically an update of what's going on here in the parish and such, and particularly as plans are being developed for the reopening of public Mass at St. Benedict's and also in parishes throughout the state. Filming today from inside our new Adoration Chapel, which is essentially complete, and we'll hopefully use it soon for Adoration of Blessed Sacrament. The altar behind me has been restored. It's over 100 years old. It came from a parish church in Kansas. And we hope to do a video in the next few days highlighting all the different images, the sacred images here in the chapel. A couple things to update you on specifically. As you know, the Governor Stitt in our state is beginning to relax some of the stay-at-home orders here, actually beginning in some cases today. Our diocese, along with that, the Archdiocese of Oklahoma City, we're in the process of developing some plans on how to respond to this. How best can we begin to offer Mass publicly? Because we have two different things going on. Both of them are good. One is the opportunity for us to come back together as God's people to publicly for the offering of the Mass and receive the spiritual graces of the sacraments. So that is good. But another good is that of public safety and public health. So we have to balance these things. How best we can do both, because we want to be able to offer the Mass and offer it publicly and for you at the same time in a way that keeps people as safe as possible during the whole COVID virus situation. So it's going to be take a little time to work this out. We want to have some guidelines for the parishes throughout the state that are uniform enough that you don't have one parish here doing one thing and the parish next door is doing something completely different. At the same time, it's going to be flexible enough that it's going to be where parishes can adapt it to their specific situation. For example, the situation here at St. Benedict's in Broken Arrow is different, say, from St. Francis de Sales Parish in Idabel. And so how are we going to do this? So I'm actually going to be on a Zoom meeting later today with other priests and also lay people from Tulsa as well as Oklahoma City to begin to work on this and hopefully have something developed. Bishop Conderla and Archbishop Coakley has asked us to put this together. So let's be patient for a while. And while Governor Stitt is saying that as early as May 3rd, churches can begin to offer worship with services publicly with certain guidelines, we may or may not be able to start on May 3rd or not. We will see. Let's be patient. And whatever we do that we'll have to keep within and maintain social distancing and things like that. Hopefully within the next few days we'll have something that will be ready to go. On this question, I know that people have a lot of strong opinions, so I put it that way, about opening up the state, opening up business, especially small businesses, opening up the churches again, and also the need to stay at home and to stay safe. Let's be patient and let's be charitable. And let's listen to one another instead of arguing with one another, particularly on social media. I'm beginning to see some things that, frankly, are a bit disappointing. People, the way they're commenting on social media about one another, and not just virtual friends, but actual friends, and the comments are being made. Let me put it this way. If we're getting so worked up about something that's being on this issue, as well as others, things being posted on social media, that we're making comments that maybe we would not make if we were talking to a person face to face, some suggestions. Number one, delete the comment. Number two, put this down. And yes, I know this is a 4G. I know it's an antique, but that's what I got. So put this down and pick up one of these and start praying. So that's if we're getting so worked up over it, then we're becoming uncharitable to one another. That is when we need to stop. God, I think, is using the quarantine and the virus give us an opportunity to deepen our faith and holiness. At the same time, Satan is going to want to use this situation as well to divide us from one another. So let's keep that in mind. Let's see this as an opportunity for us to practice the virtue of patience, the virtue of charity, the virtue deepening the gift of faith within us. The day's going to come in which we can come again before the altar of the Lord, before the sacrifice of the Mass, but also some words of caution about that. When we do begin to do this again, do not expect an immediate return to things as they were before the pandemic. We're going to take step by step by step. And it's going to be a learning process, just as a learning process of me and other priests doing the live streaming of Mass and other things. But we're in this together, and let us continue to pray for one another and those that are the greatest needs, those suffering from the virus, those affected by the economic issues, those, the medical staff and others that are on the front lines of this fight. We're going to get through this together. So let us continue to pray and support one another as Jesus calls us to. So, God bless you all and keep you safe.